This is once again, Don't Be Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf click track workshop. And I have my band here, and if you'll just indulge me for a moment, let me introduce these guys. We're a really team-based ministry. So if you took the band away and left me up here by myself, there's nothing very exciting about me. I'm just gonna tell you that. What we do is we work hard together, and we put a lot of effort into what we're doing, and we're a team. So over here, this is Naomi Barella. She's one of our singers. This is all from our church. This is Shayla Gonzalez, Joel Gonzalez. This is Alfred Gallegos. He's our Spanish worship pastor, as well as playing keyboards today. This is Raul on guitar, Brandon Allen on bass, which after the class, if you want to speak to any of these guys, they are available to talk to you about click tracks too. They're very familiar with it. David Bonilla, he's our sound guy. Right now he's rigging all that stuff up. He's the guy. He's our audio tech. And then Ramon on drums back there. I'm Jermaine, our church, Westover Hills Assembly with the cable in the way. A long time ago, there's different ways to do this. So please, I'm gonna try and give you in an hour, try to give you a wealth of knowledge and information so that you can take one or two things that you can take home to do, okay? First of all, what is a click track? There's all kinds of ways. You can play with loops, which is just a repetitive, exactly what it is a loop. I'm gonna play one for you. A click track, which is just like a metronome in your ear. Along with the metronome, write these words down because a lot of the knowledge you're gonna need is understanding terminology. If you don't understand what a word is, then you won't be able to extend yourself in those areas. So like what we call stems, okay? We are using a click track with stems. That means the click is going and we have other stuff and musical things coming in at the same time. So that in a nutshell is what we're gonna do. However, what I'm gonna say is, I know that where we're at right now, some people are gonna say, well, how do I start? Where do we start? Because we're here right now. There had to be a beginning place. Absolutely. I'm gonna take you back to the beginning place. I started with my iPod, so if you excuse me, I'm gonna get my iPod. So what I did was, a long time ago, I was messing around in the studio, and we had Acid Pro and all these different loop programs, and I made a loop, and it was just a, and everybody knows what BPMs are, beats per measure, beats per minute, okay? So what we're gonna do, what I did was I said, okay, I wanna do this song and it's at 120 BPMs. So I'd get the BPMs, the pulse of it, and I'd make a loop in that time signature, 4/4, 120 BPMs, et cetera, et cetera. And so it would be a loop just whatever I wanted to make so that it fit the song. Then what I would do is come out of my iPod into this DI box right here. This DI box with an 1/8 inch cable. So an 1/8 inch cable is just a regular, what you put into your iPod. So you need to know some of that if you want to go into that so that you can speak the language. An 1/8 inch coming out of the iPod. I plugged it in here. I played guitar and sang, and so I had it on my music stand. And what I would do is make a playlist for Sunday with the different loops for the different songs. Now, at that time, our team wasn't that complicated. We have brass, strings, choir, blah, 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 blah. So what I did was I would make we're gonna show you some of the stuff on Ableton that we got going too here. So what I would do was make the loop about 10 minutes long, because I can probably put 2 to 3 songs to 120 BPMs and just flow from one out of the other. Am I making sense? Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a loop here. I'm gonna ask the sound guys, I'm gonna send you here something. And we all know what loops are. I mean, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but I just thought it'd be good. Okay, so this is a song we do called Glorious. And one side has the loop, and one side has the track. And what I would do is in the studio, whatever I would record, let's say I would record some extra keyboards or, anything. Well, let me not go there yet. We're gonna stay on the loop. So guys, I'm gonna send you track, David, I'm gonna send you track from this little DI box here, and then I'm sending you all my signal here in a minute. And okay, can you turn that loop up in the house, please? And the guys would play to that. You wanna play a little bit? Okay, and loop's still going. Okay, so that's simple. That's how I started, and I had it on my iPod right there while I'm leading worship, and then I would go to the next song, boom, and it would be a different loop. Then I thought to myself, you know what? I could do more with this. So what I did was I never told the guys, so I did the same loop. And in the studio, I recorded some voices, I recorded some synth and some pads, put some guitars down, we put some different stuff down. And then what I did was I mixed it in the studio, and then I panned it. Everybody knows what the word pan means? That means you're gonna take it and put it to the left side. So I took all the instrumentation, all this junk I recorded, and panned it to the left, and then I panned that loop to the right. And then I came out of a stereo 1/8" cable that split left and right from here. And this way, now it gives me 2 channels to go to the board. So now there's 2 channels. You have he has a loop and he has the track side. So I tell the guys, hey guys, it's gonna be a 2-bar loop for nothing and then start playing. Or 1-bar loop for nothing, start playing. And then this way, what they would do is they would not even know that I had stuff on the other side, but just stay on the loop. Am I making sense? Okay, so I'll go back and explain some things. So iPod, 1/8", split out. I think I got this right. I don't remember which one was in which, so let me know if I need to change it, David. All right, so here it is. So I split it out. Is it right? All right. So now it goes into the DI box. I got the iPod here. iPod. You can do this out of an iPad too, same thing. We're gonna play. So the guys are gonna hear the click, the loop. So mix the loop in too, David, and then he's gonna mix the track side into what we're doing. Now I recorded brass, live brass and some other things in the studio with this and mixed it down, and I got it all panned to the left and the loop panned to the right, going to 2 channels to them, going to 2 channels to him, and he's going to mix it with what they're playing live. With singers, if we get to that part, sing along with it. Now, mind you, I also recorded some voices and mixed them in as well. So I took them in the studio, recorded the voices, and then put it on the track. Everybody still with me? Okay, good. Here we go. Whoop. Here we go. 1, 2.
And you hear the music playing, and you see.
Now, so here's the track by itself without. You got the track out there?
Hear the music playing, and you see the people praising. Just forget about your worries, get your troubles far behind you. Don't you wait another minute, just get up and on your feet and get to dancing, singing, jumping, leaping, get to shouting. Make it loud and glorious. Start rejoicing, praising, lifting, raising.
Now, you're saying, well, how do I make all that stuff? That website I told some of you guys about, multitracks.com, is your friend. You can buy the original stems from the original recording. Right now, you can find every song from Gateway and the original recordings from all their musicians at multitracks.com. Download them, buy them, import them into your stuff right now. Now, this is like the most simple way. You can go with a loop, and then of course I pushed the envelope a little bit and went with a track on the other side. And then now we're at this point, which you see up on the screens. Now, what you see on the screens was, first let me give you some equipment that's taking place here. First of all, there's a laptop up here. Okay, we are using a program, software called Ableton Live. Ableton Live. Ableton Live will be your friend if you learn it, and let me tell you why. You can run your lyrics and video. This morning when we were doing worship, our lyrics are on there. So you see on the top right there that says vocal left, vocal right, the keys left, keys right, guitar left, guitar right, and then it says track, and then it says click, and then it says change the world, click, and then there's a video. There's a video one there, right? David? There's a video one there. And so when we're playing, the video is lined up to the click track, real time. No one's in the back pushing buttons anymore. It just goes. Okay? You with me? So here's the thing. A lot of people will fight click tracks. Don't make it a spiritual issue. It's not a spiritual issue. Don't do that. That's the big mistake you can make. You could say, well, the Holy Spirit quenches the thing with the click track. No, the click track does what I tell it to do, what we tell it to do. We program it and we make it function the way we need it to. But what will happen is sometimes, and I say this with all due respect in a very respectful way, that a lack of understanding sometimes causes us to criticize something we don't understand. And then we find an excuse that sounds good to us to say, well, that's not godly. Well, is it? I mean, every concert that you go to, they're doing it. You don't even know it. You go to Disney, you take your kids there, they're doing it. You go to see any of the other bands that are doing it, secular or Christian, Chris Tomlin. When you buy a Chris Tomlin track, just so you know, because we bought his tracks, there are seven guitar tracks. He has 2 guitar players. How do you think the other guitar players, all the other guitar tracks are coming in? They're doing it like this. They're using stems. They can't travel with 7 guitar players. So there's 7 guitar tracks coming in and out and layers and what they call texture, musical term, texture of laying all these things together. So what we do is we go in the studio and there's some things that I'm gonna tell you, but it's not important right now. I bounce them down, what we call, the sound tech guys will be interested in this more than the worship guys. We bounce them down. Bouncing down means once we're done mixing, we put them in an audio file. That's what you see there. They are bounced down to a mono left, mono right. So it's a vocal that we recorded. Let's say it's 16 tracks of vocals we recorded. We stacked them, say stack. Stack means we went back and took a couple more passes. So Shayla might have gone in and sang soprano 3 times. Nay may have gone and sang alto 3 times. Joel, tenor 3 times. And that's stacking. And then I take it and I mix it down. I mix it in stereo. But when I bounce it down in a mono left, mono right. Why? So that when I send it to David, he has 2 faders back there. He can place it in the mix in the stereo field where he wants it. So what he may do is take those vocals that are on the tracks and spread them really wide, and then he puts our live vocals in the middle. Did I lose anybody? You see what I'm saying? So if I bounce it down stereo, it's just a hard spread, boop, left and right, and it's no control except for volume. But with David back there, our audio tech, I give him more control. He could say, okay, I want to put those vocals here, and I'll put this about 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then I'll put our live vocals the other way, 9 and 3. And it all blends in, and you won't be able to tell what's click and what's not us and what is there. All you hear is a blended mix of it. That makes sense? We do that with the guitars. We do that with the different instruments. We bounce them down. That's why you see vocal mono left, vocal mono right, guitar mono left, guitar mono right, blah, 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 blah. Now track is your friend, because track is a mix of all of those down to one, because here's how it works. Out of the laptop, there are 8 signals coming out. Say 8. 8, thank you. Excuse me, we've been hooting and hollering all morning, and now we're talking. So there are 8 signals. So you got mono left, mono right. That's 1, 2, guitar, keys left, 3, keys right, 4, guitar left, 5, guitar right, 6, track is 7, click is 8. So how are we gonna get those 8 out of that laptop? Here's where we start to need equipment. You need a firewire cable coming out of, and preferably an 800, or it's faster, an 800 firewire coming out of your laptop into an interface. And the interface is back there. We use a Motu, M-O-T-U, 896 HD. I recommend that one because you won't need DI boxes, these things, to convert them. If you get a certain DI box, then you're gonna have to need 8 DI boxes. It already has a line level out. Everybody know what line level is? That's a XLR mic line level coming out, already done. So you pay a little bit more, but now you don't have to go back and buy DI boxes to convert. So here it is. Laptop, firewire into the interface. That's from D, what we call D to A, digital to analog. And now the analog 8 signals are going back to the board. Follow me? I'll do it again. Laptop, firewire, interface. Now that the firewire goes into the interface, and then you have 8 mic cables going to the snake or the board. With me? One more time. Laptop, firewire into the interface, 8 analog outs to the board. All right? So there's your 8 for us. You don't probably want that many. You can use 4. You can do stereo. However, remember, if you use them all, if I put that in stereo, David only has control over volume, not placement in the mix. So now, the track is a mix of vocal, keys, and guitar down to one mono track so that we can send back. So here's how it looks. 8 going out to the board. Yes? You still with me? 8 analogs going out. I'm gonna try and not get too technical, but 8 analogs going to the board. 6 of them are to the house. 2 coming back to these guys' ears and us. One more time. The first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are coming out, and David is mixing those to you. And those 2 on the bottom, the click and the track, are coming to us. And we say, give me a little bit more click, give me a little more track. Now, when we play here in a minute, I'm gonna actually play the click so to show you how unpleasant it is so that you can hear it. I'm gonna use, what we'll do is, let's use my song so that you can go buy Supernatural Love, because it's in the back, Supernatural Love. My record is out there. David, oh, I'm sorry. Brandon, can you cue up My Heart? Okay, so you can find this song on iTunes, and you can find it in the back for Supernatural Love. Now here it is. We have choir or vocals, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I'm sorry. Where is it at? My Heart. It's the one over there. So it says BGV left, BGV right. It says keys left, keys right, guitars left, guitars right. Click and track. 2 are coming to us, 6 you're going to hear. So we're going to actually play the click so you can hear it out there. It's in our ears. We already know when we start and when we don't. And what? Yeah, let's swap. Okay, they're gonna swap it out real quick. I don't need the iPod anymore, David. We're gonna go back to the original. So, once again, I'm trying not to get too technical here, but break it out. Now, why do we make the transition? Why do we do click tracks? Why do we do it? Well, I'll tell you, if you don't if you don't teach your guys to play to a click, you'll never be able to record in the studio. You'll never be able to do a live recording. You'll never be able to put your lyrics synced up. You'll never be able to take your next steps in technology. So everybody will move forward but you, because you have a spiritual reason why you haven't done it. But don't do that. Learn, push yourself, read everything that comes out on it, do some research. And I'm giving you examples. Before the iPod rig, you know what I used to do? I would take the keyboard, we would take a keyboard and we'd program the keyboard. We'd go in there and take the sequencer, and when we used to do big choral, listen to this, you want to talk about work, we would do big choral octavo pieces. I would take the score to the piece, we could pull up on the motif, and we would play the flute part, pull up a flute patch, play it, record it in the thing. Go ahead and pull up a clarinet part, French horn, strings, right off the score, and then take the outs on the board. It has 8 outs. You have a left, right, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would take left, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, take a left and the right. So that would give me 10 outs. And I would send the outs out from the keyboard, press play, put a little click, send it to the guys, and we had a full orchestra playing with us, even though I didn't have an orchestra on the stage. Now, I'm not a proficient keyboard player, so I could slow down in the keyboard and it won't change pitch. So I could take it to like 60 BPMs, beats per minute, where I can play it where I'm comfortable and be like, da, be, ba, ba, da, da, ba. But all in reality, it's like, ba, de, ba, da, 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 boom, ding, da. You know, whatever it is, play it at that tempo and then speed it up. And then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm an orchestra player now. I got all this stuff coming out. And it's cool, you can add to it. It just makes it so much, and you could have eight different mixes back. The guys can control what they want. We did a song, Alfred did a song, a sequence where he had harp. We didn't have a harp player, but he was like, you could hear the harp, and it was really cool. So music is a canvas. It's like this thing. We can make it what we want. A lot of times we put it in a box. You know what happens? The Bible says that all things are good or created by him. The world exploits this and we run from it. We're scared of it. Don't do that. I believe God deserves the best. You are God's child and you can give the best. So you may not be here now, but you could be there in a couple years by messing around with it, getting ideas. Even if you got a click, a metronome, and only started with that, at least you can get your guys playing in time and staying in time in a service, and then move to a loop, and then move to the loop with the split, and then move from the loop with the split to the this. Okay? Are we hooked up? Okay, so David, put that nasty cowbell out there so everybody can hear the click. Now you get to enjoy what we hear while we're leading worship, okay? Go ahead and play, David. B. I need more cowbell. That's all it is. At times I feel far away. I'll seek your face. I'll seek your face. And when I feel all my hope is gone, I'll call your name. I'll call your name. So David, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the different things that are coming through. So we're gonna play the click. David, bring all the stems down and only bring up what I tell you to bring for a moment. Take this click. Click out of here, or one of the guys, or Zach. My ears are bleeding from that thing. But thank you. You guys are great. I was kidding about my ears bleeding. I was being sarcastic. Play it. Okay, so break it down for you. We'll show you what's coming in. The cowbell's going right now. You don't hear it. Bring me the keyboards. And then that's without Alfred. Stop. Oh no, not you. Him. I'm sorry. I'll try to be more better at my communication. No, Alfred. Stop, both of you. That's what you call texture. What you hear on the keyboards there is an EP, analog pad, and all kinds of synth stuff going on, and he's playing the actual piano live, and that is just texture. That's laying layers of sounds together to get what you hear. So let's do that from the beginning again. Alfred, sit out a bar, play a bar, sit out a bar, play a bar. Okay? It's counting, and... Bring the click back up so they can enjoy it with me. Now keep playing. Okay, you can stop it. I'm both, everybody. There's no guitars there yet, right? I can't see. Okay, guitars come in at the, okay, they come in at the thing there. So there's no guitars, it's just me singing. So let's do that again. There's no bass, it's just cymbals and stuff like that. So go ahead and run it again. Yeah, from the beginning, please. Yes, together. Just me and Alfred and the clicks. And then you guys come in when you're supposed to. Enjoy that cowbell. We worship you, Lord, with the cowbell. Show the lyrics on the screen. My pain is gone. Are they not hooked up? Oh. Just one moment with you, Lord. I can go on. I can go on. Just us again. At times I feel you far away. You can buy the song in the bookstore, Supernatural Love. And the chord charts are up there too. I feel all my hope is gone. I'll call your name. I'll seek your face. Now watch, they're all gonna come in. And my heart and soul cry out. I'm lost without your love. Stop, everybody stop. But don't move it. We'll pick up right there. Okay, so now I'll show you, David, we're gonna play the click, but only the guitars on the track, and then Raul, I'll tell you when to play and not. Right, let it roll. Vocals out for now. Can you mute the vocals in here? we don't record bass. We don't put bass in because that's live. But you can layer stacks and stacks of guitars, layer stacks and stacks of boards, synths, pads, all that kind of stuff. Now, bass and drums, sometimes we may put there might be a loop in there, but it lines up with where the song is. It's musical. It's not fighting the rhythms of the song. Now we'll go ahead and do the vocals. Can you play with them just so they'll have pitch? Let's do the chorus. My heart and soul. Ready? 2, 3, and 1.
My heart and soul cry out, I'm lost without your love. I will forever seek you, Lord, I need your touch.
Okay? You with me? Now we'll go ahead and pump the vocals in. Go ahead, B. Right wherever you're at.
Forever seek you, Lord, I need your touch.
Just the vocals out there and the cowbell. Ready? I'm sorry. Back up a little more. We thought we were at the beginning of the chorus.
My heart and soul cry out, I'm lost without your love. I will forever seek you, Lord, I need your touch.
Just stop it. You with me? Any questions so far? Yes. It can, but you set markers up in Ableton. So he's asking, so everybody can hear, he's asking about a vamp, more organic feeling, more of a flow. He wants to do the chorus again, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and if the singer just wants to add hallelujah, that kind of thing, the balance is that.
Yes, it takes work. Like, even I'll tell you, honestly, we played almost the whole thing today, if you were in the worship service, with Click. It takes work to make it feel, to program it and then make it feel unprogrammed. Does that make sense? So you work hard to program it to get continuity and consistency, but then you go back and try to mess it up a little bit so that you can still have an organic feel and flow. So that's a great point, but you're right, it takes practice. It took us for a while, and what we would do is practice our transitions. And now it's kind of clockwork. We just know, the guys know that they never really stop playing. Even when the click track is out, they keep playing. Since we're on this, I'm gonna get back to that. Remind me of that, because I wanna show you how we flow in and out of the click. I think that's important. Okay, so I think I made it clear of how we can pump different stuff in, right? All right, so take me to the key of A. I'll go into that now. What time is it? 9:35. 10:35. Wow, okay. Okay, so now we just planned our service. Go ahead and go to moving forward. Cue that up. David, set it to normal, like if we were doing live. And sound guys, whatever mixes we had before, just no cowbell or in here, whatever we had like for our worship set. Okay? So now what I'm gonna do is, please understand what I've done is, before we planned the service, so we did 2 fast songs, a slow song, and then I said, and then I'm gonna flow. I think I'm gonna give them an A, B, and C road. I think my road A is gonna be, when I come up, Pastor usually comes up and he does prayer after we've done the 2 fast songs. And then Pastor Ryan will leave, and then we may either go straight into the click, or sometimes I may flow a little bit. So I'll come up and I'll just say, He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. And now they're waiting on me. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. He loves get him in time. He loves. Yes, Lord, we bless your name. They're gonna say, don't click. We're still on no click. We're just playing. Won't you sing? Oh, he loves us. He loves us. Oh, no click. It's us. He loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Now we just do this little part. He's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. He's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. Oh, how he loves us. 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 He loves us. He loves us. Oh, I'm just messing around, okay? He loves us. Oh, how he loves us, yeah. We worship you, Lord. The click is on. God, we worship you, Lord. The click is on now. Not going back. Remember this, we're there. Stop it. So the click is on. Go ahead and let the click go without us playing. Just right where it was. That was in there with us while we were playing, moving back. I mean, moving forward. So we're at the verse. It's over with you. Things are made new. Surrender my life. Not going back. I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you. All things are made new. Surrender my life to Christ. I'm moving forward. You have risen with all power in your hands. You have given me a second chance. Hallelujah. Okay, stop. Okay, so now the clicks are going on. Now let me play you something that has brass in it. Let's go to dance, please. Something a little more upbeat. Yes, sir. Without a click. You couldn't hear it because we don't want you to hear that pat, 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 pat. But I was just letting you know it's on now and it's counting us off into the next song.
And I would love to hear that. Like, who makes that transition?
Okay, let's do that again. He's doing it, the bass player. And you see those mics? Those are talkback mics. They're talking to each other and me in my ear and the band. And they're saying, okay, the click is push. Here we go. In the chorus, 2, 3, 4, bang. They're talking, it's like, and then they'll say, sometimes they'll talk to each other. Pastor Jay wants to go here. Stay here. Stay on the A. He, it's like, moving forward, moving forward. And he'll say, stay on the A, stay on the A. Go to the C sharp in the bass, but go back to the 1. So that's what they're doing in talkback. You can't hear them, but we can. Sure. I don't know if you want to hear those guys. They're dangerous. Put the talkback mics in the house, please. Let's talk about supernatural love. Can you get them in the house?
Check.
Okay, so let's go to the transition from
1, 2.
cue up moving forward.
Supernatural love. Go by.
Brandon, please watch your
supernatural love.
language.
That's subliminal. Supernatural love.
Brandon, please watch your language, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, we're a band like you guys. We like to have fun, so you need to cut up with us a little bit, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to finish She Loves Us. So we're at a real down point of this, like bring it down,
forward.
and then be ready to run the moving forward. Yeah, so cue it up from the
So-
beginning. And run the click. This is a loop in the click, but it's a click,
can barely hear
and we
the
don't
click.
want it too much in the house. So,
Can you hear the click, Suda?
and I'll let you know when it kicks on, or he'll exaggerate, put it in the mix. Can you hear the mix, Pseudo? I mean the click? Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. So he goes, He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how. We're in time though, right? Oh, how He loves. I'm getting ready to translate. He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves.
Then I would say I'm about to go to the click.
Oh, how He loves. Here's the click.
Hold the D out. Hold the D out.
Hear it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So there you go. You get an idea of the in and the out. Now we just finished moving forward. Take us to the end, B, and then we'll cue up at the end, and then flow. I'm going to flow. Now, beforehand, remember, I've given them an idea of what I may do and what I may not do. So I may switch to 4/4 and go into Mighty to Save. I may switch up and go to just the chorus of Shout to the Lord. And then I may do and go into Give Myself Away. Now, we talked about that before, so those guys will start talking back. I don't know, he's going to go to da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da, and then I'll just start singing, and then they'll go, Mighty Save, Mighty Save. So that's how we keep the little organic feel going. I'm going to get back to the markers and the vamps and all that stuff, the live feel. So somebody prompt me on that so I could tell you something.
Pastor Jay, I think you had a question back there.
Somebody? Yes, sir. Yeah, because sometimes we'll probably be flowing in the same key of the song that's going to start. That makes sense? So like we were in A and that moving forward is in A. So what we were doing, He loves us, He loves us.
And it's also in 6/8, so.
So yeah, he's holding an A, or you're holding the 1?
I was actually holding the 4 on there.
4?
But
And then bum, bum, da, 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 moving forward.
Both
That
of
makes
those
sense?
songs were in
So yeah, you
6/8.
can hold it while it's counting and make sure that sometimes we even do this. You start to hear the click and everybody's anticipating. And so we're just like, it's funny because on our platform on Sunday morning, and when I want to get everybody to their place, everybody's chit-chatting, I just play the click and everybody will hear it and they'll just start. Am I kidding? It's funny, right? Yeah. So I'll just say, watch this. I'll go like this, and he goes, go, go, go. Everybody's like, yeah, wherever they're at, they got their ears in, and they know it's like, it clicks on, you know. So you start to train your guys. It becomes part of the culture.
The click is the mastered.
It is. It is the master. So whoever
And I
controls
control
the
it.
click
Is my mic
is
on?
the Yoda
Check, 1, 2,
of the
check,
department.
check,
Okay?
no.
Yeah, and we just chill in that scale. So for example, we're in A, we're there. So it doesn't matter we're in the 5, we're in the 4, or whatever key we're in within that scale, we know we're gonna go to A. So if he wants to do another song, if he wants to do like, let's say, Our God is Greater, then we'll go to B because we know we're going to end up there. We'll just go to the key of whichever the click track.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, I'll just tell them, let's do it in A because it's going to be an A in the next song. It flows a little better. And if you go, well, I can't sing that song in that key. Who says you have to sing it? Use your team members. Sometimes songs are too high for me and I'm just not there today or there. Then I'll have Shayla, Nate, Joel. Somebody else can sing it. It doesn't have to be me.
You have a question?
You can pitch shift them. You could go, you can't do it on the fly. You would go into your studio, drop them in, pitch shift them up and down, semitone, whatever you want to do, and put it where you want, or record it in that key. If you do the MIDI, these are audio files, so you'd have to pitch shift these. But if you record the MIDI stuff, except for vocals, then you could move the MIDI up and down, whatever key you want. Yes? Well, good question. We've gotten faster at it now that we've gotten a lot faster. And I will tell you, I'm not too proud to say that I'll buy whatever Multitracks has done already. You agree?
Yeah.
He's a Spanish worship pastor, and we just go there and we go, you know what? That one's done. I'm going to do that song. But there's some people that take the approach. If I don't do it, I don't use it because I need to make sure I do it. I just need to get songs out. So whatever way, and actually on Multitracks, they give it to you in 3 keys. So you can go, if the key's in G, they'll go 1 up and then 1 down. Original key, 1 up and 1 down from there. Perfect. Good question. He said, Doc, if you want to change the arrangement of it, yes, here's what I do.
That's what we did with Our God. We added the chorus because in the original it's only 2 chords, so we added a chorus to Our God.
Yeah, but let me tell you how you do it. What I'll do is I'll take the original song, the track from Chris Tomlin, off the CD or the iTunes, put it in the studio, chop it up the way I want it, and that's what I give the band to learn because that's the arrangement. And then I import the tracks and cut those tracks to match that track so that now the arrangement matches that. So when I make the part CDs for the vocalist, when I bounce down the stems, and when I give the band that thing to listen to, everybody has the same arrangement.
Yeah, it might be.
I would say, probably a full day. A bought one, probably 4 hours. A bought one. But one that we create and track ourselves could take, because we deal with volunteers, we have to get the volunteers in. If I need Raul to come in and record record guitars, then what he has to do is he comes in when he can, and I track the guitars. And then the next time when Nate could come in and sing alto is when she can do it. We're at her mercy and we're at the team's mercy. So it may be a month project.
It might be worth noting, Pastor Che, just if you wanted to chop up a song, just make sure that it's locking to the grid of the song. So if it's 30 BPMs or whatever, make sure it locks to that, because if not, you'll have a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just
so that's a good point. Everything on we call it a grid. So when you import the tracks and the other one, make sure that everything goes to beat 1. Figure out the tap tempo however you got to figure out the BPMs of the song. Let's just say it's 80 BPMs. Set your grid at 80 BPM, so when you drop the tracks in, you can't mess it up. And then you just fly the parts in. You know what? I want to do only 2 here. I want to do it like this there, and I want to do it like that. And then you can do that.
Yeah.
Yes?
We use to make tracks at our church, and I will say that it has met sometimes with some resistance from musicians who are not. I'm a perfectionist, and I like tempo, consistent, unless there's, but I will say that this past Sunday, for instance, the bass player, 30 minutes before service, said, hey, I'm not going to, so we just pulled the bass track in, and it's very convenient as far as, if you have somebody from last week.
It's a good point. Let me tell you something. Our church is fairly large. We run 5,000 plus, I don't know, whatever it is in the week. Multiple services, crazy. It's just nuts. Our English, Westover Hills English service runs over 4,000 plus. Our whatever, something. And then our Spanish church runs about 600. We just launched a new campus last month, or this month, the 2nd of this month. We launched a new satellite campus away from our church that only seats a venue that only seats about 150. has about 130 people attending, and I have a click track rig in there. So your question is, okay, you're in a big church, so you can make it happen. Well, I guinea pigged it. We're doing it at the big church, we're doing it at a medium-sized church, and we're doing it at a very small church. So my band and the team that I have over at the Medina Valley campus, our new satellite, sounds just as big as this one. Just as big. Mm-hmm. And I got 4 to 5 people on there. So I'm saying all that to say that you can make it happen. You can't make excuses that my church is too small and we just can't do that. No, you can. You can do it. You have to figure it out. You have to put some thought to it. So let me just also add a point here. The smaller the band, the more freedom you have to do things. With the Spanish band and our Spanish team and our English team, we play with a live brass section. So it's almost fairly impossible to, on the fly, do another chorus if we want to. But it's not the click track that does it, it's those guys. Now, I have a choice to make. I could say, well, I want to be able to do that, so I'll just get rid of those guys. That's not my heart, so I want them to play. No pun intended, that's a supernatural love, my heart. So what you do is, now I got orchestra strings, trumpets, trombones, blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, I want to be able to just groove and go where I want to, but now you left those guys behind. So for me, it's not an option. So what I do is I arrange the song the way I want to do it, write the charts out to that, they do it. Now, he's to that point, Pastor Alfred's at that point where he can't do it either because he has brass and strings and da-da-da. But our Medina Valley campus, you can set markers in here. They're called markers. And you can put it at the chorus, at the bridge, at the verse, so that on the fly, Ableton is great because you can hit the space bar or step on a pedal, and it will count the last 4 bar of that measure, and you say, I want to go to the chorus again, and it will play that bar that you're finishing, 2, 3, 4, and jump back to the chorus. So you can set it to go wherever you want, whenever you want. Yes?
Like the live brass in the past, I've kind of cued them before service, like I do the band. Hey guys, just a heads up, I might want to repeat this chorus.
Yeah. Yes. If you got a 3-piece band, 3-piece brass, 4-piece something, 5-piece, something like that, we have up to any service on Sunday morning, up to 22 of them over there. Someone's not gonna get it. You can say it all day long, and someone's not gonna get it, and they'll be playing the song still on, and these guys went back, and half these guys. So you could do that. I don't take the chance. The bigger your team gets, the more you have to communicate. Just know that. So it's possible. For me, I'm not a gambling man, and I put a lot of work in trying to make sure the service is right, so I just say, stick to the thing. Now, I will go back to the groove of the song, and I'll say, I'm probably gonna reprise, and here's the bar you go to. So I'll finish the arrangement and go back. So let's go to La Buena Vida, I'll show you. We just finished the track, right? Play it again, D-minor. Oh, go, just the key change, sorry. No click, we'll just do it. Me gusta vivir la buena vida, donde todo es posible. En Cristo vivir la buena vida, yo vivo en la donde todo es posible. So I finished the song and I went into it, and the guys would know, pow, then they'll know where to go without a click. That was without a click, by the way. So for me, I would always do the thing. You can do it the way you want, but we'll do the song, and then I'll say reprise. So I may do a reprise, so then I'll just tell them ahead of time, hey, I might do a reprise on La Buena Vida. So we finished it, and I'll say, come on and bless the Lord. Me gusta vivir la buena vida, vivir la buena vida, donde todo es posible. En Cristo vivir la buena vida. So you can go wherever you want. Now what you can do, and I have done on big concerts, is cut the chorus, right? The complete chorus. So you go down all those tracks and you would bump it to the end, put a 4-bar count, And then we would hear it. So he would go click, it'd go click, click, click. Me gusta vivir la buena vida. To me, that's the safest way. That's the safest way. Yes. Yes. Put your options in the track. And I've done that. We'll do a song, and actually there's a song, You Hold My World in Your Hands. We do that one. And I have reprise 1, 2, A, B, and C. And and the A is shorter, B is longer, and C is like to the middle song all the way out again. And we'll put that in there. And I cut them and fly them in with a 1-bar count-in. What's that? I got 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Any more questions? Oh, I told you about the markers, right? So rhythm sections without brass, even with brass, don't let that stop you. You can put markers in and it'll go wherever you tell it to go. So it's not stuck to the grid. You can do whatever you want to do. By the way, don't forget, your lyrics can be controlled from here. Yes? Yeah. Absolutely. You can pull in what you want. Matter of fact, you will get a stereo drum track. If you're at a very small church plant, you can bring in the drums. If let's say you're a guitar player, you can bring in the drums, the bass, and the electric guitars and background vocals. You can control it with a foot, with the touch of a foot or a space bar. And you can have, and I've done that before. I've done that. We can deck it out. We've done an acoustic set with me, Alfred, and Sudo, and played acoustic, and we just put some different stuff in the background, and it just sounds so cool. And it just opens up so many windows for you to do so many different things. So, you know, technology is nothing to be afraid of. Embrace it. Go with it, because it's going to go with or without you. It will. It will go with or without you. Trust me. I hated texting when we started. Now that's all I want to do. Don't call me. Text me. You know what I'm saying? I hated it. So if you have any questions, feel free to talk to any of the team, and we're here. David's our audio tech back there. He's at the board. Thank you so much for listening to my nonsense, and we love you. Bless you. You're dismissed.